Hello, today we have a VOD review on Numbani. It looks like a Master's Tracer. I've never seen this video before, so let's get into it. Alright.
Don't boost Tracer, he's boosted.
Actually, sorry, let's take a quick look at the team comp really quick.
He's boosted.
Sorry about that. Mercy, Zenyatta. Okay, oh, so fairly standard dive, except the Mercy. Interesting. Mercy might be a bit of a problem. There's no one. Okay, we'll see how this works out. For this particular case, I would like Tracer to go down that hallway. I'm not quite sure what you guys call it, but that hallway. I'll point it out when we get closer. So basically here, I'd like Tracer to play with this area, see if she can get behind the point onto that that back area. So we'll see how this works out. Nice DMing. Cool. Yes, in here, perfect.
Moi je suis pas chaud pour les top.
Okay, so basically, yeah, so blink all the way there and then go to the right into that room. So they're doing a pretty good job of contesting that. So now what do? You probably go into the point this way, behind the payload into that other room. You use your blinks. You don't have recall for 11 seconds, but it's unlikely if someone's in there. So I think it's okay for you to go now.
Zenyatta in front of us.
You have 3 blinks. No, this is no. And okay, and now the problem with this is that Torbjorn turret is still up there. So unless your team has really good coordination, which I don't really ever expect in solo queue, like D.Va going in to at the same time as you to DM and bring it down. Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of this. And it's nice that you're bringing this. Nice, very good. You saw that it was low and then you went in to bring it down. So very excellent on your part to recognize that it was kind of in kill range and you went for it. So that's awesome. So good on you. Still, this kind of play is a little bit risky in my opinion, again because of the lack of coordination in solo queue. So actually, let me listen to the comms and see if you guys were saying anything.
And I Discord.
Okay, so I didn't hear a plan to kill the Torbjorn turret, but maybe you guys said something earlier. So I don't want to say this play was lucky because it was really well executed. It's just this level of coordination doesn't always exist in solo queue. So cool. Nice. You're respecting the Zenyatta. I love it. Kill him. Yes. Nice. I think you guys got this.
Zarya.
So, like I said earlier, I still would have liked to see you go into that room, and then from there kind of decide if you can, I guess rather what to do, right? Like you can go onto the high ground from there, go around the point. There's many options open. So what you did, it worked out. That's great. Cool. Just still in my opinion, just a little bit risky for solo queue. Okay. So now what do? Now you look for a deep flank. I'd like you probably to get into this area up here if you can, like just somewhere in that room over there. So to the right, you'd have to go around the long way. There's plenty of time. The cart is still way close to the spawn, or rather to to the beginning. So you have plenty of time to set up and look for a deep flank here. This kind of stuff, it looks like you're just trying to punish they might trickle here. So this might be okay as well. So we'll see what happens. Nice. Went on monkey. Okay.
So, come back.
Oh, nice. Let me see that again.
No,
Oh,
come back.
He must have been low from. Let me see that. You probably tagged him with the pulse bomb a little bit,
Come back.
and then it looks like someone else put some damage on
back.
him. Okay. Nice. So you guys can get aggressive here. Get aggressive. Nice. I love it.
Another dead.
Oh, and then she woke you up. The Zarya. Nice.
Make it load up.
So, one thing I want to point out here.
Dead.
I'm not a huge fan of this blink that you just used right now. Now you have 0 blinks to do this fight. I don't think you needed to be here this early. You had time to just make that walk. And then here, I think as soon as this Anna looks at you, then you can blink to the left or right. Well, probably to the right, and then then you still would have had another blink to play with. So I think you were just being a little bit greedy with your cooldowns here.
Anna dead.
You probably should have died in this scenario, to be perfectly honest. Actually, I'm not quite sure. Wait, so well, okay, you don't have recall, so that's why you're being so passive. Okay, that's fine. Cool.
McCree low top. He's really low.
Monkey dead.
Cool.
Kill McCree, please.
Je viens de heal derrière toi, je viens de heal derrière toi.
Heals, good.
Il est devant moi, putain, mais. Oh.
Zenyatta.
Hey, you guys are just punishing the trickle.
Yeah, putain, je le tuerai jamais.
Well, actually, I guess in that case, that's not really a trickle. You're just cleaning up the fight, so cool. All right, so now as Tracer, you probably want to pick a side. I think, well, she can be pretty effective on both sides. So what I mean is here, like we talked about earlier, and you haven't really been doing this, but again, getting deep flanks, you can go on this side or you can go on the side to the left. Both are effective. They have their pros and cons. We'll see what you do. What is this Winston doing? Why? All right, so this might not be the greatest VOD to review because your opponents are being really silly right now.
Zarya low.
Oh, the McCree flashbang. Actually, you're lucky you didn't die there. So, yes, this is where I want you. So up until now, I feel like you haven't been utilizing your flanks very much, and a good example of how you did flank was earlier when you went around when Anna slept you, like that kind of whole engagement there. You did a really good job of flanking. Outside of that, you like to do a lot of head-on fighting, which Tracer doesn't excel there. She really excels when she's behind her opponents, putting in work on the back line. I see tons of Tracers who are amazing Tracers, but they just fight head-on, and I'll see Tracers who are not nearly as good, but be at the same level as the first style of Tracer because they're more strategic in their approach, right? They're looking for deep flanks, and they're just punishing the backline, even if their aim isn't like super sick. So you strike me as more of the former, where you're obviously very you're a pretty good Tracer, but I don't see you flanking enough. So like that last time, you should have died to that McCree just now. He just missed his flashbang. So again, I want less head-on fighting and more fighting from behind your opponents. Let's turn sound back on.
C'est quand même con, hein. Elle aura
Yeah, this is a pretty good flank. Yes, nice. Excellent.
Zarya.
I love it.
Zarya low.
Your DM, you got DM, that's good.
Morte.
So just kind of as an example, this is a perfect example of how to do a flank, right? They don't see you. In fact, I actually don't like that you were shooting here. I would have liked to see you get a sneaky pulse bomb.
Con, hein. Elle aura peut-être une.
Boom, but it's much harder to react to someone, especially for this Winston. He probably just realized you were there like half a second before this, and so when you do these kinds of flanks even from the sides, but ideally from behind, these pulse bombs get so much easier to land.
Pas Viton.
So,
Et encore, c'est pas sûr.
perfect example of that.
Monkey dead.
Zarya low. Morte. Zenyatta. Oh.
Kill Monkey.
Rip.
Go for the Zen. He's dead. Very good. Oh no! Cool. So again, now, I still need you in your opponent's faces. I kind of need you either like on this side or this side. McCree's on this side, so you probably don't want to mess with that. Or at the very least, you want to keep a safe distance from him if you are gonna dance with him. Oh, okay. Mechanical mistake. All right, so your team's dead. So you back up.
Go back.
Good. Just run away. Good. Running. Cool.
Putain, j'ai autant de dégâts que de soins, c'est beau.
So now you look for a flank. Similar to what we said earlier, take the time to get up here on this high ground, and then get that super far right flank, right? So get up into that room, and then kind of massage your way onto to the right of the point behind them. The deeper you can get, the more uncomfortable you'll make your opponents, and you're gonna sandwich them between yourself and the rest of your team. Whoa, what just happened?
Allez Laura,
Okay.
Allez Laura, on pousse.
So again, this is head-on fighting. This fighting is not where Tracer excels, right? Like this isn't. It's not horrible, but oh, wow, this Winston is not very good. It's not horrible, but again, you excel so much more when you're on the flanks, on behind your opponents, on the sides. Yeah, their Winston is actually really bad. So that's a little bit lucky on your part. And again, this is pretty dangerous what you're doing right here. If they still have a McCree, you're like in flashbang range potentially right here. So this is pretty risky in my opinion. And you have no idea what's behind you, right? Like, so like right here, your Winston goes in. He's creating space for you, so you know in that sense that's pretty good. But you're not really quite sure what's behind you because you haven't looked there. So pretty risky in my opinion. Good. A little bit greedy with the recall there. I would have liked to see it maybe a little bit sooner.
Fall back.
On a raise.
Again, imagine this entire fight where you are back here wreaking havoc on their backline, on Zen. Who else are they running? McCree. And your goal isn't necessarily to go for kills. It's to just pull them away from the front, right? If you can fight, if your team has two fronts to fight on, where you're sandwiching your opponents, that's usually like 90% of the time that's what you want, and that's gonna get that's just gonna yield more battles that you win.
Monkey.
Oh, Monkey's back already. There's that McCree.
Monkey one.
Not a big fan of that pulse bomb. He was running away.
Lucio. 2-1. Go.
So you know, so just to kind of reiterate on that pulse bomb. Pulse bomb's so much easier when you're doing it from behind your opponents, right? When you got that flank on the right side, except excuse me, and then now with this pulse bomb onto that Winston you just did, you guys, you know, like if that was a more head-on fight, much harder to get those pulse bombs off. Cool. And yeah, actually, where you're fighting now is generally where I want you. This is pretty good. This is a pretty good space to fight in. Cool. That McCree. Is your team gonna clean this up? Oh, maybe not.
Comme ça.
Go back.
Allez one.
Good. You need to wait for your team though.
Nakura.
You probably need to wait for your team at this point.
Okay, let's go back.
So I would have liked, as soon as that person died, I would have liked to see you just back up. So again, I'm gonna keep repeating this. I would like for you to get the high ground, get up here, get into that room, get into the far right, and get that and claim that whole right side area. You could also go like to this left side area, right? But if you're gonna go there, I don't want you to go this way. I want you to go the safe route. I want you to go up onto the high ground, get into this room, and then work your way down around, right? So like that. And if your opponents don't know you're there, even better. That's even better when you snuck up on them. Back up. Fight's over. Fight's over. Oh, res? Oh, you guys got res. Okay.
Monkey.
Again, I think it's unlikely that pulse bomb sticks.
Monkey.
Let's see. Actually, to be fair, that one might have stuck. And unfortunately, he flash banged you. So, but again, you know, imagine that pulse bomb coming from behind him. He probably doesn't get the flashbang on you, right? So again, we're kind of seeing this recurring theme where flank. To be honest, I've probably already seen enough of your VOD to finish my feedback. I do a ton of Tracer reviews, and 90% of the time, the feedback is you need to flank more, like way more. And not just during fights, like before the fight. Like before the fight even starts, I need you to already be behind the opponents. And to be fair to you, on the last points of maps, as Tracer, it's really hard to do that, right? It's really hard to get these deep flanks which is probably why you're struggling so much here, because to your credit, you were flanking in the middle of fights previously, and that's good too. But again, if you can start the fight behind your opponents or like on the sides of your opponents, it will pay dividends. It's absolutely the way to go. So I feel like here you're probably just going to beat your head against the wall, trying to go for kills head on your opponents. Unfortunately, that's just not how it works. Again, you know, Tracer. I've seen a ton of Tracers in the top 500 who are just super skilled like you. And I feel like for a Masters players, or excuse me, for a Master player, you're excellent mechanically. Definitely some things to work on here and there, but your number one problem is your lack of flanking, and I still see that at all levels of play with Tracer. So please take the time to flank. It's one of those skills it might feel awkward at first, but then you'll get better at dancing with your opponents, and that's kind of the key here, is that when I say start a fight off, you know, deep in opponent territory, I don't mean just like start fighting and and just engage constantly. You know, be patient, massage your opponents, poke them, and wear them down. You're not necessarily trying to just go for kills 24/7, right? Like Tracer is a very tactical. She's very tactical in the way that she works. She has a lot of strategic depth where she can force her opponents to rotate and move in a way that almost no one else can. And it's because she's so mobile and so deadly. So, you know, try to, you know, your mechanical skill is there, no doubt about it. It's more of your lack of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just going to say like rotational positional play. So work on that and you absolutely will improve. I could easily see you be GM in the matter of a few days if you start to pick up this flanking style more. So work on that. Maybe in a few weeks, send me another VOD. Maybe you'll be GM by then, and we can see what we can work on from there. So good luck.